Hi, my name's Aaliyah, and I'm a fashion designer. I have created an enterprise called Word World. I am selling t-shirts, and I was previously selling canvases. All of my profits are going to a charity called Africa Yoga Project. Africa Yoga Project is an association located in Nairobi, Africa. It supports the people living on the street in Kenya, and they take those people in and they teach them how to do yoga. Once they learn how to do yoga, then they can create a life for themselves and support their family, so they can buy meals and stuff. And all of the money I raise is going to Africa Yoga Project, and it can buy so many people so many things, like a meal or a yoga mat to help them through the provided training, or maybe a counseling session. I think I've been pretty successful, because even though some people made some more money than me, I know that I'm one of the only people donating my money to a charity that really means something to me, that I have a background with. And this summer I am going to Nairobi, Kenya to help these people, and my family and I are going to do a service trip for quite a while. I'm not sure how long, but I ran out of words. I have printed over 100 t-shirts. So what I do, my process is I Google some quotes with a specific category that I'm looking for, and then if I like these quotes, then I research them further to see if they're anonymous or if there is an author that people know of. And then if they are anonymous, then I'm free to use them without doing anything. But if they're not, then I would have to give them credit somewhere on the shirt, like maybe right under the quote. And here are some of my examples. This one is Africa Yoga Project. That's where my money is going to. And this is more for like kids, because most grown-ups wouldn't buy this shirt. So I have mostly kid sizes for that, and it says, "I would love you if you were pizza." And my mom really, really likes this one because she's a yoga teacher, and she thinks it feels like clean, like not clean, but it I don't know, it's a positive thing. And then this over here says, "If at first you don't succeed, fix your ponytail and try again." And that's more for girls, obviously, but most people like that one, and a few moms have bought that also. This is one more shirt. This says, "Life is tough, but so am I," and this can apply to multiple people. Like it can apply to both genders and all ages, and I've had so many customers of different ages and genders.
Genders, yeah, all right.
There
now,
are only two.
Tell us a little bit about you and how you have changed during this exhibition.
I think that my communication has gotten better during PYPx, because in the beginning of PYPx, when I first met someone, I would be really shy, but this is kind of teaching me how to communicate better with people. And when people come up, I launch right into talking, and I'm like, "Hi, my name's Aaliyah. Would you like to buy a t-shirt?" All of my profits are going to Africa Yoga Project. And then if they say, "No, sorry, not right now," I'll say, "Okay, if you don't want to buy one today, well then maybe would you like to donate?" And most of the time people donate, so I've gotten quite a lot of money for Africa Yoga Project, and I'm really proud of that. I think that when people either donate or buy a shirt, when people either donate or buy a shirt, it makes me feel really proud to know that I'm helping people somewhere, and that I'm making their life just a little bit easier. And I'm also really proud to be able to say that my mom has gone to Africa to help Africa Yoga Project, and that I'm going this summer, because it kind of, some people, if I say that I'm helping Africa Yoga Project, they think, "Oh, I'm talking about it, but what if I actually never do it?" But this is actually showing that I'm going to do something towards it.
Just explain why you're laughing.
Because I just pulled the microphone down, and now I got it stuck in the
It's
Legos.
down there, the fluffy bit's down there, like, on the ground beneath your feet.
Oh, and I just got it stuck, and I ruined it, and Mr. Sam was telling me before to stop playing with it.
Okay, say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So, my name is Un, and this is my exhibition. at the beginning of the year, this is my symbolism journey. At the beginning of the year, as you can see from the projector, everything seemed upside down for me. Everything was so different from what I was used to in grade 4. Grade 5 had a lot more high expectations, and I was pretty stressed about it. But I kept trying to tell myself, believe in yourself, believe in the things that are going to be waiting for you in the future. Let's go, let's go, let's go. You shouldn't fall down now when you haven't even started. So, like this Ferris wheel represents, I started to go up. I started to make my own Ferris wheel cycle operate itself. Some days I just want to stop and go back to the way it was, because I got really stressed at times, and sometimes I just wanted to go back to the way it was and don't look at the changes. But I kept focusing on that small mindset that I had. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Believe in yourself, believe in other people, believe in yourself that you can do this, you can do this. So I tried again and again and again. The obstacles one by one, and I went a lot slower than the others because of what I was going through, but I managed to start to see what the world really was. And as you can see from the projector here, now that I'm on the top, look where I am now. It's at exhibition staging. It's the opening night of my 3-day cycle of telling other people what I've been through for the last 13 weeks of prep phase, plus the 4 weeks of telling my PYPx. I'm really proud of myself for coming this way. My book is called The Way We Get By. It focuses mostly on 4 girls. They have a different perspective of how they see the world around them, how they view the changes that they are going through at their age. And they're very different from each other, but they still try to accept who other people's are and who they are becoming. And as they go through times, they meet each other pretty much coincidentally or the other, and that part's pretty awkward, but I like to think of it as an elemental of my book. And they think about how they've been viewing the world, and time goes on, they start to change. They think about their change, and they realize that they've been changing. They're beginning to view the world more like how they're starting to view the world differently from what they used to. They start to learn who they are, and they try to support each other to keep going and not break down in the middle of their journey of becoming from evolving from who they once were to becoming who they are going to be in the future. I looked through my past life. I've been through some rough times in my past, and it's a lot different from what other people have been through. I looked into my experience, I looked back into my past, I reflected on how I've changed, and I took those little bits and pieces of memories and experiences and moments and turning points in my life, and I put them together into one character's each perspective, and I incorporated them with the character's personality and their actual mindset. I made them different from what they actually seem like on the outside to their inside. And that was pretty cool because I didn't expect myself to be able to do that, because it's really complicated and it takes a lot of thinking and time, but I'm proud of myself for being able to do so.
Did it feel personal at times? Too personal to share some of these things? Or?
I made sure in the beginning never to stoop down that low. It's hard to open myself up, and at times I was like, is it good for me to share this, or should I like cover it up with something else? But
You decided to use.
I I kept rethinking that this character is just a part of me inside it, and I broke down that small little private life of mine that I haven't want to share, open up. I broke it down to the amount of characters. I put them each inside and I shared them. I mixed them up to make a completely different new person that I have inside my head that I've been thinking of for a long time now.
Hi, I'm Sebastian and I'm a designer. This is my product and it's a Google Cardboard. It makes me work on my interest in technology so I can be happy when I make it. I had to cut these templates with a laser cutter that I got from the school that let me borrow it. And the template, me and the teacher, Mr. Frank, had to research a lot to find the template, and luckily we found one. But there was a problem when I just started. I needed the lenses and the Velcro, and I couldn't really find the lenses. So when the tech break came up, my family was going to Japan, and I decided maybe we could find it there. I looked at like 10 shops, and the last one, luckily, I found 2. But my grandma helped me to contact the manufacturer so I could order some more for my product. For my symbolic piece, I decided to make pressure plate connected to light, so when you step on it, the light goes on. Each of the different lights represents my emotions, and green represents surprises, red represents anger, blue represents calmness, and yellow represents joyful, and white represents emptiness. So in the beginning, I was kind of, my head was empty and I didn't know what to do. Then I got angry because I didn't know what to do, and a sale was coming up. But then I decided to make cardboard VRs. And then when we bought the lenses, there's a problem that we couldn't open the big lens, but my dad worked really hard and helped me, and he finally opened them. So it was a miracle and it was a surprise. Then I was just calm, normal, and like I knew what to do every time, and I was just calm. But then one of my suppliers did cut the wrong template, and it was just like 3 days before the next sale. But luckily I had more stock. And when the end of PYPx came, I figured out that I had profit, so I was happy. During the PYPx journey, I changed quite a lot, because in the beginning, I thought if things were too complicated, don't bother starting, because then it would be a waste of your time. But after doing PYPx, I figured that always start, because maybe you can succeed, and that's why my symbolic piece is kind of quite complicated. And now I'm quite happy because there's a local computer shop has agreed to sell my product at their store, and I can earn more profit and be passionate about my interest in technology. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Aldrin, and I'm an ice cream dessert maker. I think my enterprise was really successful because I earned a lot of money, and I also enjoyed making my products with my family. And right now, I have around 4 million, and I'm gonna keep my money in my parents' bank account, and I hope they just don't steal it. And later on, I'll team up with a partner, and his name is Manny, and we'll continue working on our business, and it will just be really fun. I know that. And one of the biggest actions I took were designing my ice cream's recipes, because I really had to know what were in the recipes, how it tasted good, and how to keep my recipes really organized. A big challenge was making my symbolic piece right over here, because at first I had an emoji painting, but I didn't think that was going to work out really well because it didn't really represent my emotion. So instead I came out with this. It's basically all about how it represents my emotions, and it's all about pollution and a beach. And well, sometimes I have lots of struggles making my symbolic piece and also my advertisement. And when I have a struggle, I would probably picture a polluted city. I want to give up. I just don't want to do it. I want to really give up. And how I overcame them were doing some mindfulness. And when I'm doing my mindfulness, I would picture a beautiful sea, really wavy, clear water, and really peaceful. And a new skill for me was being organized, because I organized myself, my time, and my money. Because lots of people were losing their money, and lots of people lost their files and documents. They didn't kept them safe. So yeah, that's one of my new skills I've learned. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Katie, and my enterprise is Rose Home. So, this is my grade 5 staging piece. So the clouds represent how free I can be with my ideas, and the leaves are kind of like how lucky I am to experience this. And yeah, and I feel very happy to be here. So here you can see the nails. It's kind of like problems that can hurt me, and like they're kind of like challenges. Like they change me sometimes, and it hurts me sometimes. Like people saying like, "Oh, you're very, like your ideas are trash. Like why should you do that? Like no, don't do that." And so I feel dumb for a couple times, and so yeah. And here it's kind of like the little problems that I feel like they are very. I think that they're trying to make me fail, and and up here it's kind of like when I'm trying to be confident and I try to be like my best. And here are some of my products. I think that my business is pretty successful, and the money goes to America because I'm going to America soon, and I want to use that money that I made to, like, I just want to spend it in America with my sisters.
Hello, my name is Yuvraj, and I'm doing a one-course mini golf game. So you can also win a lot of prizes, and you can also have a lot of fun. We were 50% successful. The putting mat looked good, the prizes were awesome, and I think we had a good amount of customers. So this is my symbolic piece. It's a golf club made out of my prizes, because one time I had a customer and he said that he can already feel the prizes in his hands while he was holding the golf club. But then I changed it a bit and I put my successes and my downs and my emotions. So these are the curvy lines that represent my ups and downs. And like I painted the golf balls different colors to represent my emotions. Before PYPx, I wasted a lot of time. I was a free bird, But then after the PYPX, I was more organized and I was a better leader. I don't think me and my partner made a good choice in our partnership because we argued a lot and I did more of the stuff. And yeah, we argued a lot. I would like to make my own app design business because I really enjoy coding and I want to learn coding more, and from this PYPX I learned different points of business. Thank you for listening.
Hi, my name is Yannick and I make skateboard shelves. I made this product because I enjoy playing outside and skateboarding. It was hard to make the products, but a professional taught me how to do it, and he told me how to make the bends and how to use hard tools I never used before. I'm very proud of my product now. This is my symbolic piece. It's a marble run. The red and blue and yellow and the blue represents emotions. This red represents anger because I was angry at myself because I decided on my project very late and I didn't have my products ready before other people had them. This blue represents scared because after I decided on my project, I was happy for a very short amount of time. But then I realized that everybody was far ahead of me and I realized that I was far behind. So that caused me to get very scared. This blue represents that. Then I worked very hard on my products and caught up with the rest. This yellow represents that because I was very happy. Then this red wheel represents distractions because during my project lots of distractions I wasted some of my time because I got distracted, which are usually friends talking to me, or so I couldn't spend time on it. Then this blue represents stress and sadness because the first markets were coming up and I still didn't have my products, so I was scared and stressed. But I got over it by actually doing a little bit mindfulness of just breathe in, breathe out, and it'll be okay. And that helped me a lot because I wasn't stressed afterwards anymore. Okay. The biggest attribute I learned was optimism because this quote represents that. 1 year equals 365 opportunities. I learned how to be very optimistic because at the beginning of the project I was not optimistic. I thought I could just do very little things, but afterwards my teacher taught me about optimism, and I learned from that talk a lot because I used to think that I wasn't optimistic and that I could just do little things and just do the easiest things so I could just get the tasks done. But now I learned that I should choose hard things and learn stuff from it. One of the other attributes I learned a lot from was independence, which is represented with this blue number 1. I was very very independent because I had to be, because I was working alone and people couldn't really help me because it's my project and they don't know what I wanted to do. So I gained lots of independence over the project because at first I was not that independent. I like to cooperate with people, but now I learned how to be very independent and I like to work on my own now. One of the hardest decisions I made over the project was deciding on a project. It was very hard because I was late with people and I thought I wasn't optimistic at that time, so I thought my product would be very hard, so I still wasn't deciding on it until the talk about optimism, and that caused me to make the decision, and that helped me a lot.
Okay, what are you going to do with your money, Yannick? Your profits?
I think I'm just going to save up for something. I might find something later I could use this. Probably on saving up, I think.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Bart and I'm a designer. For my business, I design birdcage lamps. I chose to put in a filament light bulb because it gives the birdcage lamp a very nice shadow. The round part on the top of the birdcage describes its Vietnamese because a lot of people in Vietnam have birds and they use this type of birdcage lamps. But onto my symbolic piece. This shows all the ups and downs I had, and because it's like a ladder. If it goes straight, it's the best. If it goes sideways, it's really hard to climb it. But if you go sideways and then straight, that's the best, because then you learn of your mistakes. I chose to do birdcage lamps because I like to do things with my hands. I cut the wires and make the lamps inside it because I feel meditative. I do mindfulness a lot when I make these because I make them all at one time, and so it takes a long time. I learn a lot because after some disastrous mistakes, then you go straight up again or you go a bit sideways, but it's all fine. My disastrous mistakes was here I lost my money. That was my fault because I was not thinking about it. Over here, I let my friend sell, and he sold one of my bird cages for 170,000 extra because I was going to get something. Over here, my money got stolen because I wasn't focusing on it when I was getting my keys to open the door. Somebody took it and went away with it.